Okay, so we're gonna give it another try. Go ahead. We're gonna give it another try. Let's see what we can do. So welcome, welcome. Go ahead and type a 1% in the chat. Once you guys come in, welcome. Go ahead and type a 1% in the chat when you guys come in. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about the different secrets of how to actually go from zero to $300,000 a year, and I'm going to give you guys a lot of gems. I'm going to peel the curtains behind and show you exactly some of the secrets that I give to my private students. Now, I want to go ahead and check, is the quality, is it still kind of breaking up a little bit? You guys good to go? You guys good? Type of one if we're good. Type of one if we're good. I see you, Niski. I see you on YouTube. Cool. Type of 1% in the chat if we're good. Audio quality, everything good. Cool. All right, cool. Nice. So, appreciate you. What we're gonna do is, well, you guys are not gonna do anything. I'm just gonna go ahead and give you guys the secrets. So, I'm just gonna go ahead and pick back up where I left off. So, I'm talking about people, if you're making six figures, or even if you're not making six figures right now, and you think that's the ceiling, right, you're honestly just playing the wrong game. This is something that I didn't know because I went ahead and went for my college degree, my certifications, and I was still kind of struggling. That wasn't really the right path for me, I would say, okay, because I was driving Uber Eats. It didn't work for me. And so in the next 45 minutes, I'm going to show you how to make $300,000 in 90 days, right? And so the problem is that most people think, right, in this mindset, I have one job, I have one paycheck, and that's it. Okay, and that's going to lead you into an outcome that doesn't really have a lot of security or abundance. And so that's like a really straight line of thinking. You want to get the job, you want to get paid, and that's your money. But a lot of people are leaving 100K, 200K just sitting there because they're not thinking bigger. Okay, how many of you guys are the voices? Okay, there's an echo. All right, let me do this one last thing. I'm gonna go ahead and connect this external mic for you guys. I don't have to restart this. So I'm using a different mic. I appreciate you guys for actually letting me know. But let me go ahead and put this in here. It's a good thing I saw your comments. And then I'm gonna type this here. All right, cool. And so let me use this. All right, cool. Testing. Can you guys hear me? You guys can hear me clearly now, right? I'm using this little cool mic. You guys hear me? Testing. Right, so it's actually using the MacBook. I'm surprised because the MacBook audio is crispy clean, but audio good? You guys good? Testing. All right, cool, perfect. Let's get it. So that's all I had to do. Now, yeah, so typically you're leaving, most people, they get the job, right? There's one paycheck, and that literally somebody can just say, hey, we don't need you anymore, and you're back to zero. So there's not really a lot of security in just having one job. That's number one. And then number two is you're actually leaving a lot of money on the table, and it's mainly just because of your mindset. And so how do we solve this? But what if you had two jobs at the same time, or three, right? Your income does not have to be flat. It can multiply. I was talking to one of my students. His name is Greg. And you can go to my Instagram page. I think he's like on the third or fourth highlight. He was able to generate $300,000 in a month in 21 days of joining my program. And then a month later, so he actually got 2 offer letters. Excuse me. And then a month later, he got 3 more offer letters. And so all of that, so I always say talk is cheap. People just say anything online, but It's not about what I'm saying. You can actually see the receipts. But Greg, he was able to get multiple offers, right? He doesn't have, he has security, right? He had multiple, contracts at the same time. And so and funny enough, one of his jobs actually let him go. Well, it's because of the contract. The contract ended, right? There was no more funding. But then within a month, he was able to get another one. And so even that he was let go from one job, he still had other incomes coming in. Okay. So type of 1% in the chat if you guys are following along. Type of 1% in the chat if you guys are following along. Nice. You guys are still good? Audio's good? Audio's good? Cool, cool. Nice. So now I want you guys to understand why your raise. How many of you guys are like looking for a raise right now? Go ahead and type of 1% in the chat. Like you're working a job and maybe there's like a pay raise and like you'll be able to make some more money. How many of you guys are looking for a pay raise right now? I'll show you why. I'll give you guys a little jump. Cool. Nice. So this is why your pay raise is actually a pay cut. It is insane. It is insane. It is crazy. So your boss probably gave you a 3% raise last year and you thought it was good, making some more money. But what you don't see is inflation was 4.5%. And so you actually got poorer. Okay. And so the problem is that you're not actually making more money and the numbers are tricking you. Your paycheck got bigger, but it buys less. It has less purchasing power. Your rent went up. Your food costs more. The 3% raise doesn't match. You're going backwards, even though the numbers went up. And what you can do is you can't win with raises, y'all. I want you guys to understand this. You have to be able to understand the game. You cannot win with raises. You have to be able to learn a skill set that puts the odds in your favor. Okay. And I'll talk about the skill set too as well. And so the game is rigged, y'all. Okay. The game is rigged. You cannot win with raises. It's a trap. Like just look at the numbers. The game is rigged, but there is another way, and it's called lateral moves and stacking. Okay. The guy who figured this out, stop waiting for raises. He made 3 lateral moves within 4 months. And he went from 55K to $489,000. Who is this guy? If you go to my page on Instagram, TAYOLUSI, Tayo Lucy, and you click on the highlight page, the About Me, you'll be able to see my offer letters and see how I was able to get multiple contracts to go from help desk to making a decent amount of coins. And I am no different from any of you. Now, I have a college degree in certifications. This was a waste of my time. You might be saying, hey, Tayo, I don't have any degrees. I don't have any certifications. I want you to go to the highlights on my Instagram page and click on Stormy. Stormy, no degree, no certifications, no experience in tech. He didn't even know what a hard drive was. He just knew how to turn on a computer and search something up on Google. Listen, tech is future 78-cent raises. I'm trying to tell you, it's actually disrespectful. And so Stormy, right? He was able to not only get an offer letter for $110,000, but he was able to last month, he was able to get an offer letter for $190,000. It's another contract. Literally, it is insane because he did not have to take out 300K of student loans, like a medical, like to go to medical school. He didn't have to go through what 8 years, 12 years, depending on like the type of specialty you want to go in, in the field of medicine to make a doctor's salary. In 7 months, he got his first offer letter, and then I think like it's pretty much a year and a half, he was able to get his second offer letter. And he could have got it earlier. He could have got it earlier. He just wanted to get used to the first job. It was his first tech job. So why is this important? See, so I see you. It's C to C. So why is this important? Because it literally doesn't make any sense to work harder and get paid less. It does not make any sense. How many of you guys, type of 1% in the chat, you want to make more money and work less? If you knew that there was a possibility to make more money and work less, how many of you guys would like that little scenario? I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. But I want to see who's actually active in the chat. Anybody? Cool. Oh, you would Jaden Rose, I see you on YouTube. You said how many hours? Let me actually put this on here. How many hours do you normally work? You would not believe me. So I retired my 9 to 5 last year, so I'm actually not working. I retired from cloud and investing. My background's in day trading, but I invest. So I just took all the money and I invested my income. It's all in the about me on my Instagram. But how many of you guys would like to make more money and work less? Work smarter, not harder. Exactly. Okay. Well, I mean in cloud. I got you. Okay. And Jaden, I'll explain my work day. So now, what I want you to understand, I'm actually going to pull this book right now. It's called Retire. Let me see. Retire Young, Retire Rich by Robert Kiyosaki. Everybody kind of knows about, Rich Dad, Poor Dad right there. But he has different series. He has different books that he wrote. And one of the books that I read was Retire Young, Retire Rich. And it talked about a word called leveraged. Leverage, he said, wealthy people understand this one word very well. And he said, it's called leverage. And I'm like, hey, yo, okay, this sounds kind of cool because he's talking about making more money and working less. I'm like, yo, what you talking about? And he said, wealthy people understand this one word, and it's called leverage. And he said, to make it very simple, it's to make more money and work less. And I'm Nigerian. That concept does not make any sense because we're so used to working hard. And so when you say work less, automatically we think like, oh, this person's lazy. He's not trying to work. What you talking about? That don't make no sense. And so once I started to continue reading the chapters, I started to understand something. Okay. I already understand how to invest. If I put money inside the stock market, 70% of the times I actually make money, right? You still lose. It's just how it is. But 70% of the time you win more than you lose, and your money will go up over time. But I'm like, wait a minute. I can put money here and I'm not actually working. Oh, that's making more money and working less. It's not like I have to go get another job. I'm getting my money to make money for me. That's a concept of making more money and working less. If my money makes 100K a year and I make 100K a year, it's not like, oh, let me go get another job to make 100K. I'm using my money to do that. That's just theory and a concept. But that is the example of what he meant by of leverage. How can you make more money and work less? Whenever I do anything in life moving forward, I always ask myself, how can I make more money and work less? Because there is actually a reality where you can do that. Why not? Type of 1% in the chat if you guys are picking up what I'm putting now. Type of 1% in the chat if you're picking up what I'm putting now. Cool. Nice. And so this was extremely foreign to me because I'm like, how is this possible? You can make more money and work less. That don't make no sense. But then I started to educate myself. I started to ask ChatGPT. This is when I was in help desk. I wanted to make six figures, and I was day trading. Like, I wasn't successful at the time, and I was like, I want to start making six figures now. And I knew you can do that in tech. And so before I asked, like, hey, what tech jobs can I make six figures? I already knew. I said, what is a high, write this down. This is going to change. I promise you. If you guys do this one thing and actually take action on this one thing, it will dramatically change your life forever. And that is a real thing that you can see if I'm lying or not. If you do this one thing, I promise you, in 6 to 12 months, your life will never remain the same. Use any AI. It could be ChatGPT. It could be Claude, and say, I want to make six figures, but I want to learn a high leverage income skill. I want to learn a high leverage income skill. But give it some context, right? Leverage equals make more money and work less. I don't know what I'm about to do because this thing's about to die. Yeah, my mic's about to die. Hold on, let me put this charger on this. And so let's see if it's gonna charge. Oh, yeah, it's charging. All right, so like, this is what I did, and I saw that cloud engineering was an option. Cloud engineering was a way that you can earn a high income and where you're not working all the time. As a cloud engineer, when I was working, I won't say the name of the company for obvious reasons, but it was a company that had a government contract. It was a cloud migration contract. We needed to migrate applications, and then it was Oracle databases from on-prem to AWS. Simple lift and shift. Now, I was very confused because this was one of my first jobs, and making six figures. My income tripled. I went from almost tripled. I went from 55K to 135, like that. I started learning. In 2 months, I got my first offer letter, but I was spending like 4, 5, 6 hours a day. I wanted it really bad. And so when I got the job, so R3 Joe, just to let you know. Oh, that's a good question. IAC orchestration. I'm not going to say anything that I have no idea. The only thing that I do know is that AI is creating more jobs for cloud engineers, is because AI lives in the cloud. And so, but anyways, going back to the point, the amount of work that I was doing per day, I was working 15 minutes a day sometimes. I was working 30 minutes a day sometimes. When it was busy, I'm not working more than 2 hours. I tell my students, if you're working more than 2 hours a day, you need to leave that job. Realistically, there should be no reason why, as a cloud engineer, from the different jobs that I've worked with the right companies, okay, not like FANG companies, but with the right companies, you should not be working more than 2 hours a day. And the reason why I say that is because with the resources that we have available to shorten the time, there should be no reason why you're working to more than 2 hours a day. And so, Jaden, you had asked, I don't know if you're still on this live, you can comment 1% if you are. You had asked, how much hours a day do you normally work? At that one job, I was barely working. And I was scared because this was one of my first jobs, and I thought they was about to fire me because I'm like, they're not giving me any work. This sounds too good to be true. I was asking them for work, and they just gave me some light stuff. And the reason why is because the cloud migration project, they kept on pushing the meetings. And so the government was pretty much paying the company to do nothing. And I don't really understand the game too much, but I think they just needed to spend the budget or something like that. Somebody who's in the gov space or they understand budgeting or whatever, they probably know that better than me. But it just didn't make any sense because they were paying the company to do nothing. It was kind of weird, but that's how it was. And so what did I do? I went ahead and enhanced my skill set. I was building different projects. I was looking at the market. I was looking at like, okay, cool. Let me actually turn this a little bit for you guys. I was looking at like what are the so you guys can do this too. What are problems that businesses have that a cloud engineer can solve with the tech stack? And it told me cloud migration. It told me cost optimization. It told me to be able to build infrastructure, secure it, and then also set up automations with CI/CD pipelines. Excuse me. Literally, I went to AI and I asked it, how can I become more valuable by solving problems with cloud engineering tech stack? Okay. And so now let's continue. I always talk about one of my students. He used to work at Amazon as a software engineer. He just graduated from college and he got fired. He got fired. He was literally one Zoom call away from nothing. This guy was making 160K at Amazon, good years of experience, exceptional performer, and one Zoom meeting happened and his whole situation changed. He had to move back with his parents and he was suddenly unemployed. He had to start from scratch. He had to start from zero. Your job is not as secure as you think. One meeting, one decision from a boardroom you'll probably never be in, and your entire income disappears. You could lose everything because of something completely out of your control. That's your risk right now. You can't rely on one job. You need income from multiple places. You need to become valuable. If one goes away, you still got two more. You still got three more. When you're making 300K from three jobs and one lays you off, you only lose one out of three, not everything. That is security. That is freedom. Go ahead and type a 1% in the chat if you guys are following along. Johnny Mooney, I got you. I see the text. I see your question. Go ahead and type a 1% in the chat if you guys are following along. Okay. Now, Johnny said, what is the most frustrating part of your job that no one mentions on YouTube? Johnny, you there? Oh, sorry. I said Johnny. John Mooney. You're funny. All right, cool. All right. I see you. Now, I'm going to be real with y'all. This was my day to day. And I want you to understand this was the most frustrating thing. I would wake up. Remind you, I used to be an IT technician. I used to drive to different BB&Ts and SunTrust. This is before they were Truist. I used to replace their heart. It was crap. In cloud, we're talking about cloud. And when I was an IT technician, I used to it was hell. Now, as a cloud engineer, I used to wake up. Before I had to wake up early, but now as a cloud engineer, I had to wake up and I was at work. I didn't need to drive. This is the most frustrating thing. I had to wake up and go on my computer and type in Netflix and watch TV. That sucks. I'm trolling if you guys didn't pick that up. But no, seriously, I used to do that sometimes. But realistically, I'm not going to sit here and be like, nothing is like the thing that sucks. You know, what was the most frustrating part of my job? The thing was actually troubleshooting something and you could not figure it out. But then, like, that is the most frustrating thing as a cloud engineer is you can do everything. You can have good troubleshooting processes, right? You want to identify the problem. You want to like do some recon. You want to look at different sources online, ChatGPT forums to see if somebody has actually solved the problem, or different information that you can kind of troubleshoot a critical think to like have a hypothesis to solve the problem. You have three hypotheses and you test three of them, and then you see each of them doesn't work, and then you're going back to the drawing board by looking at different information that can help you solve the problem. And it's just a recycle loop until you actually solve the problem, right? And so the most frustrating thing is that there was one time I was troubleshooting one thing for 2 weeks, and it was a simple Linux command. I was trying to change the name of a Helm file name to match a ECR repo, because that was the way that anyways, I'm not even going to go, that in depth, but it took me 2 weeks, and it was a simple Linux command to change the name of the Helm file when it ran my Jenkins file. It was one simple command that I had to type in my Jenkins file to change the name. It was crazy. And there's nothing online that actually shows you how to do that. And so he can see your message. Nah, this is not pre-recorded, Denny. You can see your message. You're subnetting yourself in the 3 availability zone. Yeah, back over. I like that. You guys are funny. I was trying to learn AWS alone, but I don't know if they will hire me because of age after 48. My dad thinks the same way. Like, my dad is 68. I'll tell you this. It doesn't matter how old you are. Like, I like the way I think, there's no excuses. Like, for example, and I want you guys to really pick this up. And I'll go back to the question on like the frustrating part of like cloud engineering. But I want you guys to really understand something. As one percenters, if you guys want to become one percenters or think that you are, you can. And that's what this Instagram or my platform is about. There is no excuses. The mindset that I have, and it's not about me, but I want to give me an example, and I want to give that to you guys. The mindset that I have is I plan on impacting millions of lives on a global scale. I've been saying this for years. There is no excuse if you become somebody so valuable, even at 70 years old. Okay, so you said I am saying that because I lost my help desk job 2 years ago. Nobody hired me since. I never had this issue. I'll tell you this. Okay, for example, if you came to my business and say, "Hey, I understand your problem. You have this. I have these skill sets and projects, and within 30 to 60 days, this is what I will do to save you time and money." It would be stupid for me not to hire you. It has nothing to do with age, but it has everything to do with how you think. Everything. It has nothing to do with age. It has everything to do with how you think. Let me put this on the charger. I got you guys. And so literally, I just hired somebody from Japan. He is amazing. He ain't going nowhere. And he's my tech guy. He ain't going nowhere. All right. It has nothing to do with your age, but it has everything to do with how you think. Type of 1% in the chat if that makes sense. I got you, John. And how do we figure out the business needs an issue? Look how crazy this is. So most things, I will say most things in life, I always say this: the reality of what you have is a direct reflection of who you are internally. The external reality of what you have is a direct reflection of who you are internally. Okay. Looks like I'm about to start stripping. Oops. Let me stop playing. Right. So what do I mean? Okay. JD said, how do we figure out the business needs an issue? ChatGPT. Claude. I'm thinking if I'm like, okay, think about it like this. And this is what I taught my students. I said, so if you guys are interested in seeing if you qualify for the program, If you go to my Instagram, if you go to my, I have a website too as well. But if you go, I'll type in my website. But if you go to my Instagram and just DM me the word 1%, my team will be able to talk to you and let you know about the different options that we have to see how we can serve you. Now, so Toba to go, that was for you. But anyways, literally, I want you guys to understand, like, if somebody said, Tayo, sorry, or anybody that's listening to this, if you're like, dang, I can't actually do this for myself. I can't make six figures. Or like, let's say somebody says like, I don't know how to explain it, something that you think that's impossible. If somebody said, hey, we just kidnapped your whole family and we are going to them in the next, let's just say if somebody said you had to get a AWS cloud engineer job in the next 60 days, or we're going to your family, do you really think that you're not going to become a cloud engineer? Now, this is an extreme. Why am I saying this? Yeah, I'm on Discord. That's my Discord name, Tayo Lucy. And so why am I saying this? Because the scenario where somebody is kidnapped and they're going to your family, sound like I'm the guy from SpongeBob, but there is urgency and there's priority. There's those elements in that situation. And so like, that's the mindset that I have when I was trying to make $500,000 a year. Like I became a whole different person. It was based off of how I thought, because I'm not letting any excuse or roadblocks. I'm overcoming them. It's like you have a roadblock, something that's blocking you from getting to where you need to go, and you're letting the roadblock overcome you. You're saying this problem is bigger than me, instead of you being bigger than the problem, you solving the problem. Okay. And so, Jaden, you can easily figure out the needs of the business just by looking at the job description. If you go to google.com and type in AWS Cloud Engineer remote jobs, I'm actually doing this right now, remote jobs, you're going to see, if you scroll down, you'll see different job postings. What I used to do is I used to go to like, let's just start with 5. Go to 5 of them, copy and paste the job description, click on show full description, copy and paste everything. Let me see if I can share my screen. I have no idea. Let me see. I think I got to set this up. Yeah, I ain't going to do it because I don't want to be doing this. So yeah, I can't share my screen. Anyways, so you want to go ahead and go to ChatGPT, AI, go to Google and type in AWS Cloud Remote Jobs. Then take those job descriptions, put that in a Google Doc, and then put that Google Doc inside ChatGPT, and then ask it, hey, literally ask it what you just asked me. You said, how do we figure out the business needs an issue? It'll literally tell you. Okay. And so tech is future said, truth is, you can see videos having 100K views on getting into tech, and I can guarantee you 100K people are not taking action. There's less competition than you think if you actually put work in. That is 1000% true. I cannot stress this enough. Like, all right, think about it like this. Let's just say, I had somebody say, isn't like tech oversaturated or something like that. I was actually surprised. Let's just say that it is. This is the mindset that I have. Yeah, Danny, if you feel like this is a scam, this is definitely not for you. And I'm not selling anybody anything. And so I recommend, if you feel like this is a scam, just learn on free for YouTube. But the whole point of me actually being on here and sharing this is just that somebody out there can actually learn this skill set. It doesn't have to be through me. It can be through something else. I never say, hey, join my program. And actually make a decision if you do want to go on this journey, because it is a commitment. It's not something that you just like do one day and you're not 100% in it. You do have to commit. But I'm just sharing this because this is something that's dramatically changed my life. And then also the students that I've directly impacted. And you can look at my page for my offer letters, and then my students offer letters. But I'm never going to be like, join my program. Hey, we don't actually accept just anybody. Like there's an actual like we qualify people. Not everybody actually gets through. Okay, we're looking for people that actually actually want to commit. But nonetheless, the whole point is, so going back there is, even if the program, even if the market is saturated, it's like, yo, there's a lot of people. I am a 1%er. It's not about me. You, if anybody that chooses to believe this, you are a 1%er. Meaning that you're not like everybody else. You first have to believe that mindset. Okay. And then once you have that mindset and belief system, you now take actions to learn the skill set. And so the mindset that we have here at the 1% University is the minimum amount that you'll ever make is $500,000. When I first made that goal, I thought it was so crazy, and it honestly is. But now it's like the baseline minimum because of the mindset. But it's not just talking out your ass. I learned the skill set to be able to do that. Talk is cheap. Look at my page on Instagram. You can see the offer letters, not just me, but my students. Isaac, he was able to make $1.4 million in offer letters. It doesn't mean, I'm very transparent, he did not accept all those offer letters, but he was able to generate those offer letters. He's making a decent amount of money. He is a 1%er, 500,000. Look at Greg, right? Look at Cleo. They're all on my page. And so it's about the mindset first and then learning the skill set. Okay, and I want to be super clear. I'm not saying join my program. I do not need your money, respectfully, and I'm saying that very humbly, because there's a lot of people that say, they'll say, hey, join my program. No, the whole purpose of me being on here is just to show you guys what is possible. Okay, I'm not special. I'm not better than anybody on here at all by a long shot. If you know me, you know. Okay, but I'm just here to kind of show you, just to be a beacon of hope that this stuff is actually real. I've done it, and my students are crushing it right now. But it really starts with your mindset and saying, hey, I'm going to be the 1% that gets the job, and I'm going to learn the skill set to be able to do that, even if it's saturated. In cloud engineering, there's a lot of jobs coming out every day. Please look it up. Anything that I say, please look it up. Don't just believe anybody online. Research yourself and see if I'm BSing or not. But anyways, the 10-year trap, and I see your questions, but here's the 10-year trap. And the crazy part is, at some of the top salaries at your company, like, you can see it. It's like a senior engineer making 200K, and you can see exactly how long it takes to get there, usually 10 years. And the thing that's crazy is most people will quit before they actually get there. You can see your ceiling. It's not that high, and it takes forever to get there. You're looking at 10 years on the same thing, the same stress, the same job, for maybe an extra 50K. That's 5K a year. Is that what you want to do? Spend 10 years for 5K to make 5K more per year? And the solution is really the same thing I'm saying, just in a different way, but you don't want to climb the ladder. You're climbing the ladder on the wrong wall. Okay, you want to jump to a different ladder. Or better yet, build your own. Okay. Isaac lost his job at Amazon. He was making 6 figures. Okay, he learned a new skill set. If you go to my highlights, and I keep on referencing that because talk is cheap, but if you go there, you'll literally see how many back-to-back offer letters. It's going to be another time. I'm going to actually configure it in a way where I can share my screen so I can just show you while I'm talking. But literally, I'm going to do that on another live because I don't know how to do that yet, and I don't want to be trying to figure it out while I'm talking to y'all. But literally, he was able to build his life back. He had to move back with his parents, right? It was one of the toughest parts of one of the hardest times of his life. He just told me personally. And so you don't want to stalk. I'll answer your question, Angie. That's where most people do. They get multiple jobs and they job stack, right? You need to create a consulting business if you actually want to do this the legal way. You don't want to, you don't want to do a conflict of interest, nothing like that. But nonetheless, Isaac went from losing his job to generating, not making, it's different, generating $1.4 million in offer letters in 10 months. Okay. The amount of money he's making, I don't know. I know it's around 500K or more, but talk is cheap. Instagram highlights. He's like one of the first 5. Okay. Now going back to Jaden, I see you said today I built and deployed a full CI/CD pipeline using Jenkins, Docker, GitHub Actions. Okay. Hey, look, that's Tech Challenge 2 in my program. Okay. And so like that project that you build, what you're going to do now is go into the market, Google AWS Cloud Engineer jobs, look at the market, look at the job description, get like 20 of them. And then put that on Google Doc. And then with the project that you build, I want you to like have a detailed Google Doc of explaining it, what you did. And then put that into ChatGPT with the 20 jobs, the job description. And then say, find the problem in the market. And with this specific project that I did, how can I solve the problems that these companies are having? Give me a story that I can talk about the problems that they have, what I did to create a solution to the problem, and the business impact that I can potentially have on these companies. If you said, "Hey, Tayo, I see that you have a problem with X, Y, and Z, and I see that it's causing you stress, it's causing you pain, it's causing you time, it's costing you money. And what I did was X, Y, and Z said make you have more money to save you more time." I would literally probably hire you on the spot, because if you're going to save me more money and time, it literally would not make any sense for me to say no as a business owner to hire you. That is how to get offers. If you can solve a problem that a business have with the skill sets that you possess, money will never be an issue. Okay. So I'm going to round up because I've been on here for a little minute. But I want to go ahead and ask you guys, like, what are any questions that you have? You probably already asked some questions. I probably missed it. But if you have any questions, go ahead and type it in the chat. And I'll go ahead and answer for you. I'm going to give it about 5 more minutes. And I'm here to serve you guys, okay? Like, I generally love to help and serve people. It's a blessing to serve. And I want you guys to understand I'm here for you, okay? And so ask any questions. And this is somebody that has, been able to generate about around $1 million in offer letters in cloud engineer. I was able to work, different contracts and retire my 9 to 5 in 2 years. And the reason why I say that is because I invested 90 to 95% of my income into investments because I knew how to invest. I was still living with my parents. I did not go buy my house. I did not go buy my Porsche that I have on my Instagram. I had money, but I was investing that money. I wanted security, financial freedom. That's what I recommend you do. Don't get money and spend it. You don't want to do that. All right, cool. So I got 2 platforms. I got Instagram and YouTube, so I'm switching over. So just give me a little grace. And so Vivek, I see you said build pages is easy for me, and apps it's like I'm starting now. Not yet. I am figuring out how to host the app. Hosting apps is pretty simple. You can host it locally. You can host it on AWS. You can host it like on Vercel. There's different like solutions that you can host your applications, but you can just ask ChatGPT. It'll tell you like what's the best route to go. Is your secret base for America or also Europe? So I'll say this: it's all about mindset, right? You can ask that question in chat. So there's a guy named CloudChamp. I was trying to remember his name earlier. CloudChamp is somebody on YouTube, and I think he's based in India, but he does contracting, And so he gets work from US. And so I used to watch his videos like almost like 3, 4 years ago. And I would hear him kind of talk about this, like he was getting contracts when he was in school. But nonetheless, if you have a skill set and you can solve a problem, what my tech guy's in Japan. Like he does cloud, he does anything tech related. Hope type of 1% in the chat if you guys are picking up what I'm putting down. If you have this skill set, if you can solve a problem for businesses, you can make money. A lot of people, they just don't teach you that. Like, how can you? And I see the questions, Lex, John, I see the questions. I got you. And so the secret, you can do this anywhere. What is the first cloud engineering certification? So there's different cloud platforms, right? There's AWS, there's GCP, there's Microsoft Azure, and there's a bunch of other cloud platforms. Alibaba has a cloud platform. Oracle has a cloud platform. But the main three is AWS, Azure, and GCP. And each one of those has their own certification like roadmap. Like I forgot, I've only got the AWS GCP. I'm heavily against certifications. As you see, you guys can't really see. You guys can't really see. Let me just pull this up. But I got different certifications. Okay. I got my college degree here. And I was driving Uber Eats. It did not help me. Okay. I was driving Uber Eats at 2 a.m. in the morning. And so I'm very against certifications. And so if you want to go for your certifications that teach its own, I'm not gonna shame you for doing something you want to do. But just for me and my students' experiences, it was a waste of time and money. And so, KidCast, I got you. No, NGCP, but I got you. Let me get on YouTube. And so, how long does it usually take if one is dedicated to learn? So, I'm always going to be super transparent with you guys. I have no idea. For me, I treated it like somebody had a gun to my family's head and I was going to figure it out. Okay. So when I joined the program that I did join, I was spending around average 3 hours or more every day. Average, so I was probably hitting like 4, 5, 6 hours every single day for like 5, 6 days a week. And so in 2 months, I got my first offer letter. I'm not saying that's going to be yours. I'm not going to say that's anybody else. My students, when they join my program, I let them know, hey, I have no idea if you're going to get an offer letter. I don't know if you're going to take this serious. I don't know how quickly you learn, right? Everybody's learning how they pick up things are different. What I do know is if you follow the step-by-step blueprint, the people that have followed it and they took it serious, you can see them on my Instagram highlights. And then there's YouTube videos on my page of testimonials, right? There's a bunch of them. You can look at it and they'll say the same thing, okay? And so there is a step-by-step blueprint on how to go from where you are to $500,000 a year. That is a blueprint, the 1% Cloud Engineer Blueprint. If you are interested, just type a 1% in the DMs directly on Instagram, and I'll show you to see if you qualify and if you get and how you can get started today. But once again, you do not need to join my program. You can go on YouTube University. There's other programs out there. That's just something that I provide as a service, for my private students. But to go back to your question, no one knows. I don't know how serious you're going to take it. I don't know your roles, your responsibilities. If you have kids, right? If you're in school, I don't know how much time and energy you're going to put into it. We have I wish I can show you guys this stuff. It's in my my Slack community. But so Greg got his first offer letter in 1 month and 24 days. I think Greg was spending like around 5 to 6 hours a day on this. Logan got his job in 3 months from joining. Logan, I think he was spending around like 3 to 4 hours a day. And there was one other person. So we have like stats of past students on the hours that they spent and when they got their first offer letter. It doesn't mean that that's going to be yours, because another element, another variable that we don't know is how quickly you're able to pick it up, right? That's something we don't know. But what we do know is people that go through the program, they do get offers if they follow it step by step, okay? And so everyone is different. How much is your program? It depends on the support that you need, right? So for each person, it's not just one price. It depends on, so there's actually, if you go through the process of like DMing me 1%, my team will reach out. They'll ask you some questions, right? You'll get on a call with our admissions team. Number one, we're qualifying you to see if you're actually qualified to join the program, because we need to actually make sure you're the type of person that's willing to commit to actually get the result. That's number one. The number two, they're going to ask you questions on to see how much support that you need. But we've done it in a way that money is not an issue. Money is not a problem. We work with you. Okay. And so there's different solutions that we come up with to be able to make it feasible for you to afford the program. We ethically for me, I cannot take money from somebody that they don't have it. It doesn't make any sense. It's my job to mentor you and guide you. And so all my students, Isaac, he lost his job. Okay. I created a solution for him that worked for him. Okay. He said, I'm willing to commit. Months later, you can see his results on my page. Right. And so anyways, so let me go ahead and testing. All right, one second, you guys. I'm getting this stuff back up and running. This don't die on me. It don't die on me. All right, cool. So we probably just gonna do it the old school way. All right, you guys. So all right. So let me see. Can you guys hear me? Testing. You guys hear me? Boom. All right, cool. Testing battery. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I went to sleep around 7:30 a.m. and it's been rough. I work a lot on the business. There's a lot of stuff we do in the back end for our students, but it's crazy. I need sleep. It's crazy. But can you guys hear me? No, type of 1% if you guys can hear me. All right, type of 1% in the chat if you guys can hear me. 1 second. All right, cool. All right, type of 1%. So type of 1% in the chat if this was actually useful for you guys. Type of 1% in the chat if this was. Can hear you a bit. It's a good graining. Man, this stuff is supposed to be on point. So type of 1%. This stuff is supposed to be on point. Testing. All right, let me see. All right, can you guys hear me? Testing. This might be the one. Testing. All right, cool. I think you guys should be good. All right, cool. A lot of static. Is it still a little bit choppy? I think I might just turn this back on. All right. So, all right, I'm gonna finish answering the questions and I'm gonna hop off. And so, I see. Where do you see cloud engineering in 5 years? So I'm not a fortune teller, but if you look at the data, the literally the amount of jobs that's being dumped into the market in cloud engineering is insane. It is insane. And don't just hear my word, do your own research. It will literally tell you. You can ask ChatGPT that same question and then say, hey, is AI actually creating more jobs for cloud engineers because AI lives in cloud, or is it taking away jobs? So John Mooney, you can go ahead and look into that. Okay. And so, all right, cool. Cool, cool, cool. So once again, top of 1% in the chat if this has actually been useful for you guys. Okay. Tech is future. I see you said thank you for gems. My respect went up when you said in another video you take care of parent. Yeah, I take of course, man. Uh Goals is learning IM GRC and will be applying tips you mentioned these roles when applying to jobs. Yeah, I mean, bro, if you had good parents and they raised you right, like there should be no reason why you don't take care of them. That's just my belief. Like they didn't have to actually take care of you. There's some bad parents out there. And so my whole goal, that was my why, was to be able to take care of my parents because they're getting older. And so there was nobody had to tell me to take care of them. Anyways, that's a whole different story. And so, cool. So, and I appreciate you. Andrew, you said, can I get another call with Jacoby? So just say, DM me on Instagram and say, 1% Tile told me to put me in the front of the line. Say that, put me in the front of the line to talk to Jacoby. And just say that. Say, Tile told me to do that. Okay, that's gonna speed up the process. I can't stress that enough. All right, cool. So YouTube, I think we're good. If you guys have any more questions on YouTube, let me know. On Instagram, I got you. Let's see what you guys said. Yeah, so the program, so Vivek, the program it varies depending on the support. What is the average age of your students that gets them? I have no idea, bro. I have no idea. I'm not gonna lie to you. But what I will say is, if you have some type of fear, that's like, hey, I'm above age and I don't know if I'm going to be, successful. It really just is up to you. If you think you can do it, you can. You're correct. If you don't think you can do it, you're right. You're correct. It's really all about your mindset. But I've helped people in their 40s. I don't know in their 50s, just because I don't think I've gotten somebody like that. But there's one person. I don't want to be rude. His name is Paris. I'm gonna ask him. So he's actually coming to my Sunday coaching call. So this Sunday, what I'll do this Sunday, so I had 6 students get offer letters. 2 of them got 2 offer letters on the same day. But 6 of the students, I'm having them come to my Sunday coaching call. So I teach on Sundays with my private students. If you guys want that to be available, I can just type 1% in the chat if you want that to be available. If you guys want to, I'll actually let it out to the public. I'll probably make a post it on it. But type 1% in the chat if you guys want that. I just got to check to see if I want that. Okay. All right, cool. Jaden. So this Sunday, I have 6 students. They got offers within the last 7 days. 2 of them got 2 offer letters. No, 1 of them got 3 offer letters. But they're going to go ahead and talk about exactly what they did to get the offers. It's funny because I'm just letting you know they're going to say, hey, I listened to everything Tile said in the program. But they're going to share their own experiences, which is important. And then you guys can ask questions at the end. And so, all right, cool. And so, but Paris, Vivek, I think he's in his 40s. In the 40s, and I don't want to be rude, but you can ask him specifically what's his age. All right, cool. What are the top 3 skills in cloud environments? I don't know the top 3, but I know you need to know Terraform, a CI/CD. Excuse me, Terraform. You need to understand a CI/CD automation tool, and then you need to be able to monitor, like using Grafana or Prometheus for monitoring some type of infrastructure or whatever. Right. So you can just work with top skills on cloud. You just work with top skills on cloud. Can I get as entry level, lower level, and grow? Remember mindset. Stormy did not know what a hard drive was. He didn't have no degree, no search, no experience in tech. 7 months later from joining the program, he got an offer letter as a cloud engineer for making 110. Another, I think 9 months later, he was able to, I think 10 months later, he got another offer letter last month. So Stormy is one of those students that's going to be on there on Sunday. But he got another offer letter for $190,000. And so remember, if you think you can, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. Now there's certain things that's like you can't do. For example, if nursing informatics, I used to want to be a nurse, but that was different. But like nursing informatics, you need a master's degree. That's a requirement. You can't just say, "Hey, I'm going to be a nurse informatics," and you need a master's degree. I mean, you can probably will your way in there, but anyways, that is something that you need to go to school. You need to be masters. But my main point is, like, if you think you can do it, you can. If you think you can't, you can't. And so, if you can get an entry level if you want, but you don't have to. You don't have to start there. Super useful. Respect to you. I appreciate you, Sebastian. Oh, you best. I thought that was your name. Appreciate you, boss. Belgium. Following you from Belgium. I said Belgium. Look, I cannot. My brain is fried. Belgium. I appreciate you, boss. I appreciate you. I'm about to actually get that right now. Okay, so servers still need tech. There are not that self-tech yet. Exactly. Exactly. And so I appreciate the love we got. I can't even pronounce your name, but we got you from Belgium, and love the 1%. Super useful. I appreciate you guys. 1% useful. Okay, cool. And so let's see if I got all the questions. All right, thank you for your honesty. 1%. What time is the call? Oh, sorry. So it's the call tomorrow is at 6:30 p.m. And so if you guys are hungry and you really want the call, okay, yeah, I see you guys asking for it. Did you have a security? If you guys are hungry and you really want the call, go to my Instagram and say, hey, Tile said um, to send you the Zoom link. Okay, they said Tile said to talk to him to get the Zoom link. Okay, and then and those people who do that, I'll give you guys like it's a private coaching call, right? You guys are going to be getting it for free and getting the gems of literally what they did to go from where they are. Some of them got offer letters for, I know Chris, I think he got 3. I think it's around like anywhere from 3 to 400,000. Jalen, he got 242,000. And anything I'm saying, just go to my page, go to my highlights. You can see you can see them. They're not, you'll see what I mean on my Instagram. But Stormy, he got it 190. And so they're going to tell you how they got there. So if y'all want, just go ahead and DM me on Instagram. Say Tile said to tell you to send me the Zoom link. Like ask Tile for the link. Okay. And then I'll know if you guys are serious. Okay, so the time is 6 p.m. EST. 6 p.m. Eastern time. Audio's chop. I apologize. Yeah, it's gonna be better next time. Okay. Did you have a security clearance to work with that government contract company at the time? They sponsored me for the clearance. They said, hey, we want you on the team, and we're gonna sponsor you for a security. I said, sign me up, sign me up, right? Of course. But yes, I did have to go to get a security clearance. And then does one have to go through desktop like so? Oh my goodness. So I did help desk. I did a step lower through help desk. I did IT technician. Like you don't have to do that. Okay, Stormy. Well, Stormy, he needed a job. I showed him how to get a help desk job, and like I think he got it in like 3 weeks. But like I said, he'll tell you. Talk is cheap. He'll tell you. But he didn't need to do help desk. He needed a help desk job, and I was looking after him because I don't teach help desk. But I gave him something I used. I gave him some internal stuff that I used to use. He got that job in 3 weeks. He was working remote, and then he had income because he didn't have a job. So I helped him out to get a job to get some income to pay his bills. But but Lex, you don't have to start at desktop support. Anybody can hop on these calls. So Cam, like I said before, just DM me Instagram. Hey, Tile said to tell you to ask them for the Zoom link for Sunday coaching call, and then they'll send it to you. And so before I go, I'm going to give it about, because there is a little bit of a lag from like when I'm talking to like when you guys see it, but I'm going to give it about a minute or two. Ask any questions you have. I'm about to hop off. I have not I need some sleep. I'm a little bit burnt out. I was at help desk 2 years ago. I'm looking for a job too. If you're interested, just comment 1% on my DMs. Or just DM me 1%, the word 1%. We'll see if we can help you out. And we actually just got something yesterday within the company. Like we can actually help a lot more people. Um, it's actually insane. I'm actually really excited. I'm really excited. But I will say, please do not okay. Number one, you do not try to join my program if it's not something you are going to commit. Because the worst thing you can do is join my program and we give you everything. There's a career coach that meets with you every month. There is one of our specialists that reaches out to you every week. We give you a roadmap, a step-by-step plan. These are people that I pay. And it's not just about the money, but it's about their time and their resources. There's a lot of work that we do in the back end to make sure that you're successful. If you're not going to show up for yourself, please do not join. That's why I say that we have to qualify people. So we don't just accept anybody. Like we do a lot to make sure. I see you guys in the DMs. You guys are funny. You guys are funny. But I do a lot. Like I said, I went to sleep at 7:30 a.m. Now I'm not complaining. I love what I do. But the most annoying thing, for on both ends, for annoying for you and annoying for me and my team is like we do a lot of work and we serve first. And so if you don't show up for yourself, if you don't commit, it is something you have to commit. It's not you make a lot of money and you didn't do work. No, you have to do work. You have to commit, right? I teach it in a way that a fifth grader can understand it. You just have to show up. You don't have to figure anything out. We've already done that for you. It's step by step. And so if you are going to reach out to us, just make sure that this is something you want to do. You don't have to join my program. You can go on YouTube, you can go anywhere else, but I'm just letting you know for this program, that is what we do here at the 1% University to become a 1%er. Okay? So I feel like I just gave a little tech talk, but does anybody else have any questions? I've reached out on the website and IG. Thanks, Tile. All right, cool. Cool. Does anybody have any questions? I am here to serve you. All right. So if not, I'm going to give it another 1 minute for the lag. I'm going to make sure. So I'm going live every day. So I'm trying to aim for 7:30 p.m. EST. If not, it's not the end of the world. But I really want to just give y'all gems on like how you can actually get to this income. It's a lot of mindset stuff. So I'm going to be giving you guys some mindset and answer any questions. And maybe even teach too as well. I got a little whiteboard over here. Yeah, I got a little whiteboard over there. But I might even teach some concepts like, just technical stuff. But my whole goal is to really give you guys the mindset and information you need, to get closer, right? And so I'm pretty excited. So if you guys, right, all right, cool. You guys don't have any more questions, but that's pretty much what I'm going to be doing. Stay tuned every day. I'm showing up for you guys. I'm going to try to show up every day. So not I'm going to try. I am going to show up every day. It's power in the tongue and mindset, and really give you guys some value and just serve you guys and help you get to where you need to go. So I'll see you on the next session. Deuce.